Everybody take a boat. Highway to the danger zone. Gonna ride into the danger zone. Got the red light overload. Something about the Top Gun. Y'all know Danger Zone, don't y'all? Danger Zone, that's my song for me. Got the jumping in the red into rev overload. Don't even know the words. That's okay. Highway to the danger zone. Y'all didn't know I could do that, did that? With my head. Got the riding to the danger zone. Y'all know I could do that, did you? That's right. I used to party with my wife, folks. Red light overload. Something about the ding ding. Whatever he said. You never know what you can do. It's every day the red light overload. Got the headbang. I ain't got no hair, but I'm gonna bang that mother like that. Top Gun, y'all. Hi, they Danger Zone. Y'all know Danger Zone. I like y'all know Danger Zone. Highway to the Colonizer zone. Cause we're gonna talk about the Danger Zone. Take a ride into that Colonizer zone. Turn that off. Oh man, did I want to be in the Air Force. Oh my goodness. Well, I tell you what, you just get tired. It's too loud. Why is it so damn loud? All you do is gotta get some Top Gun, some pretty chicks, and some volleyball. Goose, now he died, he ain't make it. He ain't. Oh my goodness, Lord, I got boogers on the screen. Hang on, whoop, I'm sorry. Is that a book? Why I look faded, like right here? See, that's how you know that I didn't clean the screen from yesterday, because when I go like this, see how my head faded? Hang on, I'm gonna clean the screen. I am gonna clean the screen. Oh my goodness, why do we gotta talk about the Danger Zone today? Well, we gotta talk about the Danger Zone today because apparently somebody blew something up. And everybody, how they say it, everybody's now a demolition expert on the internet, so I'm a way in on it. I'm gonna put my cap on. Back in the day, I used to be a demolitions expert, and so on the internet, I'm gonna tell you what had happened in Beirut. I know y'all told me to be in the demolitions expert. Shut up, Gerard. All right, y'all told me in the broadcast yesterday that it was a demolition expert. Something blew up. Something boom. What happened? Oh, it's Israel, it's America, it's the Houthis and the Watutis and the Sunnis and the. That's why I didn't say nothing yesterday, because y'all crazy. We got off the crazy train today, and we ain't getting on the crazy train today. We in the danger zone. You in the colonizer danger zone. I'm going to tell you why that bomb blew up in a minute. Hang on, let me get my title right. Ooh, good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm late. I try to get here on time, but only about 4 of y'all pay me, so I'm sorry to about 4 or 5. I'm really sorry. You know what? I'm going to try to do better. The rest of y'all can stick your foot in your in your mask hole. All right. Anyway, no, I love y'all. I do. I love you. You ain't gotta send me nothing. That's okay. I'm working on some projects though. What I'm supposed to be doing? I gotta bring YouTube in. Bring YouTube in. No, I'm late because 4 or 5 people ain't enough. I'm not buying more software to do this over the digital ways. No, I ain't paying for that software. Y'all gonna pay for that. I ain't paying for that. I bring the jokes and the ignorance and the fun. That's my job. No, I was late because the pie went off and it was apocalypse yesterday. It was apocalypse. Knocked over my castor trees, knocked down the sunflowers. I had to post them all back up. Oh, it just came through because we can't seem to figure out how to not play with weather machines. So we could go there, but I don't want to talk about that. I'm going to talk about time machines today. Yes. Ooh. And it ties in with Beirut. Ties in with the explosion that my friends are demolition experts, and they're going to tell y'all all about it in just a minute. Let me get ready. Let me bring you to it. Live chat is unavailable. That's fake news. That's Gerard running his mouth. He ain't had time to put in the coding to make it work. So I'm gonna put it right there. Nah, we can't seem to want to make a world that technology works. We can make a world where the technology works for everybody, but we don't do that. We make a world where the technology works for 0.001%. And may use that technology to blow people up and steal everything. Colonize the world. This is why half of y'all on my last nerve. Let me get this book off. Right here. I think that was yesterday. There you go. See how clear I am? Look at that. I told you it's a booger. You didn't believe me. Y'all was like, he just snatched it out of a booger. No, I got it. Because yesterday when I was done, it's like, ugh. They're like, you're so immature sometimes. I'm a kid. I ain't never gonna grow up. What was that cartoon when we was kids? I'm a Toys R Us kid. I ain't never gonna grow up. Nope, I'm a Toys R Us kid. And all them toys was stolen from other nations. I ain't never growing up. I'm enjoying my life. You can go somewhere. Oh, yesterday I had it with the mask. Oh, there goes some mask people right there. Lord have mercy. I love y'all to death. Oh, I do. I do. Oh, I gave a warning yesterday. I gave a warning. You've been warned. Do not approach me in public. This is not a good time. Not a good time. Grandmama ain't doing so well. Don't approach me in the street with your political science. I only do physical science, biological science, chemical, you can bring that in some science, and natural sciences. So don't approach me in the street with, you're supposed to be wearing the man. You're gonna get the Nazi response. That's what you're gonna get. I've decided if anybody tries to shame me into turning off my immune system so I can be sick with y'all, I'm gonna get loud. I'm gonna get loud. And I've narrowed it down to 3 points. I'm gonna make 3 points to them in the street, and I'm gonna get loud so everybody can hear. You try to shame me, I'm gonna shame you into growing the hell up and understanding what science is. 3 points, 0.125 microns will not be stopped by something with 0.3 micron holes. That's number one. Number two, I forgot what number two. What's number two? Y'all on my page? What's number two? I'm supposed to be upset and I'm supposed to yell because I'm gonna do the angry black man thing. Like that's how you stand. Make your eyes real big. You start raising your voice, and then you get shot. Number two was the bioweapons lab. Right? These politicians, they believe in it, then they go to the bioweapons lab and the mask that they put grandmama in, going down there. That's it. And number three was I forgot, but you know what, it'll happen. I do this stuff all the time. In the moment it'll sink in. I need to talk about the bomb, the explosion. What y'all think that was? I don't want to talk about no silly take the world over by a police medical state nonsense, lying pharmaceutical industry at election year, just trying to get some gains, and you just hate the other person, and the person, they love that person, and so y'all make important things political and then get people killed. So nah, I'm not going there today. Anyway, good morning everybody. How y'all doing today? All right, what am I doing? YouTube is there, Facebook is there. I just need my comments and we're gonna roll. Thank you, beautiful. Oh, thank you, Kim Jackson. You saw my picture, did you? So my feet's beautiful. Yeah, thank you, darling. You know what? I take care of them. Did you see that? I do. I take care of them. I moisturize them, and I make sure I ain't in the garden too long. I wear shoes everywhere I go to protect them, make sure they're nice and purry. And you know I ain't talking about my damn feet, because you can see my feet. People didn't like that one either. And boy, I tell you what, somebody jumped right into it. Who jumped into it? Who was that? Desiree jumped right in and said, oh, your little toe look like mine. Like, oh, I don't never want to see your feet. Don't ever put your... Only my feet allowed on my page. No, my feet jacked up, gnarled up, looked like somebody ate and regurgitated half of them. Put them out of some nitrates and something else, ate them up, the bear, and shared it with the Tasmanian tiger, got a little bit, and it pooped out of some nitrate, the truck ran over it, then the doctor was cockeyed, and he put it back on my foot lopsided. All right, anyway, let me get serious. Oh, it's Kim's birthday. Happy birthday, Kim. Which Kim? Kim Jackson? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Kim Jackson. Happy birthday to you. Anyway, good. Everybody good. We good. Let me get started. Ooh, the bomb. What y'all think about the bomb? Was that for Kim's birthday? they blew up something for Kim's birthday. Like, yes, Kim's birthday. We gonna blow up 8 blocks. Girl, you so special. All right, let me change the music. Anyway, how y'all doing this morning? What we got to talk about today? We got to talk about a couple things today. It ain't this daggone gnat trying to get me. I don't know who does that. Why would God make a gnat that fly in your nose and your eyes? That just don't make no sense. Well, we got to talk about God today. We need to talk about some aliens, first contact, and why the whole world was colonized. First question. I gotta go to my thread, see if anybody answered it. Name a problem in the world that is not related to colonization. Just name one. That's all I want is one. All I want is one. If you're new, just before you get to shame in Britain, you need to maybe go back, watch a few videos before you get in trouble. All right. We do history, we do science, we do reason, critical thought. We do all of that stuff here. Do not come here posting before you look at what these people talk about. We got to talk about, oh, John, oh, Lord have mercy. John, you got the wrong last name, brother. You got the wrong last name. You see, your last name is Nose, man. You don't know? How you John Nose and you don't know? That's why Facebook need to let people have real profile name. Is that your real name, John? It was a big, I'm gonna show you, let me show you, I gotta find it. I've only watched one news broadcast on it and I turned the volume off, so I don't even know what they're saying. I don't even care what they're saying. I already know it's a lie. That's one thing. So the first fact, me being a demolitions expert in previous lifetime and on the internet, they ain't gonna tell y'all. I know that. I know they ain't gonna tell you. They ain't gonna tell you a damn thing. You say, oh, they gonna tell us on the television. They ain't gonna tell you nothing. All right, nothing. They ain't gonna tell you nothing. They don't care about you. The whole world was colonized. It's a big club, and you ain't in that club. You and I are not in the big club. We're not allowed to know. We're gonna find out what they want us to know, which is usually what gets us all the Sunnis fighting with the Hunnis and them fighting with the Christians and some Muslims, Americans and Israel, and everybody get the fussing and fighting while they colonizing the whole damn world. And then you get the people yelling and screaming like, that's okay, we got a new world order and it's gonna bring everything into order. Yes, it is. It is. Because nations are the problem. No, actually, they're not. No, they're not. Oh, Lord, there's so much on my mind this morning. I want to talk about Hawaii, too. Y'all know Hawaii is a kingdom and we won't give it back? Yeah, we want to talk about that, too. But they seem to have convinced everybody nations still exist. And this is how you get the New World Order. Because now people yell and scream, yeah, we need to get everything into order. And I'm like, you know, that's just the last colonization effort. You do get that, right? Like they literally were taking 100,000 tribes and turn it into 50,000, turn it into 500, turn it into 200 nations. And now they're going to make one colony. And you think that's going to be good for you? Yeah, because the nations fighting in war. We need to stop the nations fighting in war. They own the nations. The same families own all the corporations that tell the nations what to do. So all the New World Order is the final colonization effort to turn the whole world into one last colony and to convince you that the problem was the nations the whole time. But, oh, that's John Sean. Oh, that's John Sean? Ooh, boy, you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised John knows it's John Sean. I know he shouldn't even said that. Now about 7 people here about to just block you right away. I know they right there. They're going right out into that button. They don't like what Brother John got to say. Anyway, so, oh, the bomb. That's right. Wait a minute. If John knows it's John Sean, Mr. I got dry powder, keep your powder dry, got cannons in the yard, start a revolution now. If that's you, how you not know that this is a bomb, man? That's your thing. All right, let's go on over there, take a look. Let's go take a look. There we go. The bomb that blew up, big boom. Why did it happen? Because we stupid, that's why it happened. Who did it? Us. End of discussion. Next. That's why I don't watch the news, because I know they're not going to tell me. And when you say the truth, they delete the video or they won't let you on TV. That's what I do. And we're here in Beirut and the bomb done blown up. We've got a Negro here. We're going to ask him what he's got to say. That's why I don't let real people on TV, because I'm going to tell you right away. Who you think did it? We did it. Because we stupid, we dumb, we was swinging trees and monkeys and then we was in tribes because we did clubs and hit people and the woman and patronize, and we became the bigger kingdoms, and the king came, got behind them and the nations and the corporations and the 13 families. And that's why it happened. That's why it happened, because we stupid. We're not evolving, we're not sentient, we're not conscious. That's why we did it. We did it. Okay. And they would just give me that little glassy eyed look, how your family just look at you like, no, we wanted you to pick a team. Pick a team. I don't do teams. I like solutions. Why? Because we keep violence on this planet. They're keeping everybody wild. So people make bombs to blow stuff up to protect them from the other stupid people. And that's why. That's who did it. Us. Us. All right. You got to fix your problems in your own mirror. Let's go find this video. Whew. I don't know. And it's scary too, because I like to watch things blow up. That's how I know I'm indoctrinated. This is why I tell you I don't trust me at all. I saw that video yesterday. I watched it about 100 times. I turned the volume off because I was like, oh, it blew up. Boom. Oh like, God, that was awesome. We're in the danger zone. We are in the danger zone, people. We are literally in the colonizer zone. We in the danger colonizer zone. And until we evolve out of the lust for violence and explosions and dumb stuff and fighting with other people, we in big trouble. What's going on with YouTube? They got a bellyache. YouTube not showing up. All right, here we go. I mean, line that up, create that right there. And we got to get past this commercial. Oh, Lord, I hate commercials. But commercials are usually good examples. So I kind of like to let them play. And this is probably going to get me in trouble. But what is this?
For you to help your children be strong. Chip Strong. Apply today at chipcoverspakids.com.
Chip Strong? Yeah. So I don't like Chip. I don't like Chip. I don't like Chip. Don't like Chunk. Don't like. The only Chips I like is on TV, the police show, and I really shouldn't even like that either. Why I don't like is what it is. It's where they give things to the kids, right? This is welfare. This is we're gonna give you something and control you on some puppet strings. You're gonna do everything you want us to do. I don't like none of that. Why? Because you got enough resources. You don't need to limit the resources you give to children. That's how I know you hate children, because you got a chip. That's what I know. You hate children because you got a chip. You can free everybody to get the land back. The same reason that bomb blew up is the same problem with this commercial. If you live in a de-evolved time where you got to have chips and you got to go give kids things instead of land that they need to grow the food they need to with the parents, and you know you believe in sentience, there you go right here. You don't need a chip. This is it. Hang on, wait for it. There you go. Oh, whoa, look at that, look at that. Oh my God! Colonizers! See, it was already on fire, and then it blew up. And whatever did it, I know everybody got some theories about bombs and lasers and secrecy and putting 9/11 type charges and stuff. Whatever happened, they're not gonna tell you. They're not gonna tell you. I know that much. That's what happened. So you got multiple angles. This was in Beirut, exploded, mushroom-shaped blast. It could be a whole lot of things. What's the point going through it, right? What's the point? You know, it could be them trying to make a bomb to defend themselves, but somebody pulled the plug too quick and, you know, the coyote thing happened. It could be Israel blowing them up. This is close to the Holy Land, which is why I got Captain Crunch behind me, Captain Kirk and Spock. You keeping everybody violent. Look at, oh my goodness, flip some cars over. That's crazy. That's crazy. I hope there wasn't no people in them cars. This is what we do. When your government got secret technologies, when since 1940 they've been throwing people in prison, banning free energy technology, anti-gravitic devices, and any inventor who made them, yes, they're gonna have some really destructive, evil devices which you would never know who actually pulled the trigger. There could have been an invisible soldier who walked over there and put something the size of a penny on a car and walked away, and it blew everything up. That's what could have happened. Goodness gracious, it's still on fire. All right, there you go. That's what happened. The bomb, why did it happen? Because we're colonizers. That's why, because we're stupid, because we're ignorant. We're keeping violence as a thing. We're keeping in conflict with people we have no reason to. And why did that happen? Aliens. That's why, aliens. I know. And everybody got a different name for them. They came here. All right, so here's my theory. Time travel. I got time travel, aliens, Captain Kirk, and the Tasmanian tiger with the colonizer. We're gonna put all that together and make it make some sense. All right. Imagine this. Imagine, if you will, we went to places far away. Imagine, if you will, we were going to find other planets at a distance. Would we just go and would we find some creatures down there? They got TV and Mad Magazine, they do dumb stuff, and they make the men be in charge of everything. Would we go down and land and say, hi y'all, we the aliens, we here to help y'all? No, I wouldn't do that. We don't do that when we go to the jungles, right? We actually want to help the creatures, right? It's like, okay, so the shrew, the polka dot shrew, which is not a real animal, but that's okay, I'm making it up. If we found a polka dot shrew and it was going extinct, it lived in a place where, for whatever reason, it was gonna die, all of them, what would we do? We would try to help them, wouldn't we? Yes, we would. The polka dot shrew would probably make it because we're gonna try to help them. Ooh, good example. Remember the grizzly bear? Remember the grizzly bear? Remember that grizzly bear then lied to everybody because the TV always lie. They said all the grizzly bears. No, it wasn't a grizzly. It was a polar bear. The starving polar bear. Y'all remember that? Starving polar bear. Here's the example. Did we try to save the starving polar bear? Of course we did. We lied. We said all the polar bears were starving. They weren't all starving. It was just one. I mean, others were starving. I mean, bad things are happening. But we want to be good people. We want to help. We want to help. Just how the aliens wanted to help. All right. So I'm gonna add that with the Tasmanian tiger. What is the Tasmanian tiger still alive? He's still on this planet, and if he is, why is he? Yes, of course he's still alive. We thought he went extinct, and they found him, and they lied to everybody, so they didn't find him. Why? Well, because somebody go over there and hunt him, kill him, or do whatever. So we tried to help the Tasmanian tiger by lying to the whole world that they were gone, and they were still around. All right. So kids in the future can enjoy them. So now think about it like this. Is time travel possible? And while still some people is in that debate, you know, Einstein figured that out for you. Time is just an equation. Once you understand, what is it? Gravity and power, I think it was. Gravity and power, something to that effect, that time was just a part of that equation. That you would definitely be able to time travel. Everything that we have considered, everything that we thought about, we've achieved, whether it's space travel, cars, getting across the ocean. There's always this thing where we think we can't get there. We always get there. So in the future, we definitely discover time travel. No question about that. What we do with it? Well, we go to another planet, then we run into some creatures. I don't know, say they look like monkeys or something. And they're going extinct. They're destroying their ecosystem. They're making nuclear weapons. What do? We go forward in time. Why? Because we want to see how they killed themselves and why. And then what do? We come back in time where they are and say, listen, this is what you need to do. You need to love everybody. Don't covet thy neighbor. Take care of each other. You know, don't steal from each other. Don't rob, because we see that you're a conflict-based species. You're being kept wild by sick colonizer kings and psychopathic governments. And because that's happening, these are the things that you need to do to become sentient. Does that sound familiar to you? To me, it's called religion. And then this is what we would do, is we would send somebody down, say, let me pick somebody out here. Let's say Beaufort. Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, maybe we wouldn't say, we'll send Beaufort. He'd land down there and he'd start showing people his butt cheeks or something. But let's say we send Beaufort down to the planet. We would say, okay, Beaufort, it's your job to be a prophet, right? We need them to believe you. How do we get them to believe you? We tell you something in the future that happened, that's gonna happen, so that when you say it and they write it down, and when it happens, they'll believe you, right? They'll embrace that love. They'll embrace that sentient consciousness, the things that you need to program into them, because you can't do a first contact. But you can give them what they need prophetically so that they will do what they're supposed to do. And so a good example, if we were back in the day and we sent Beaufort down, what we would say is one day in the future, somebody's going to create something called luciferase. One day in the future, somebody called the Antichrist going to show up, working with the central banks and global currencies. One day in the future, you're going to be fighting over the Holy Land. One day in the future. Are you saying are you picking up what I'm putting down at this point in time? You would make a prophet so that they would believe the word of the God Beaufort, who would landed on your planet. And meanwhile, it's all technology. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything from religion. I don't do none of that. I look at the world and I'm trying to explain as a demolition expert why the bomb blew up. Right? Because so now Beaufort left, we gave the monkeys what they needed to have consciousness, to have sentient, to love each other, to stop hitting women over the head with clubs and dragging them in the cave to make babies with them. Stop. Y'all still doing that. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. Women got guns now, and if they shoot you, I'ma laugh. I'm actually gonna laugh. So, yeah, anyway. So you would give a reason, which sounds like the scriptures, for the people to believe that the end times are coming, and you have to humble yourself before God. You have to seek that righteousness. You have to do those things. Thou hast to stop stealing from thy neighbor, thy Hawaii, thy Beirut, thy Holy Land. Thou hast to stop coveting thy neighbor's wife with thine oil and thine jewels and thine lithium and thine has, what are the other thines? Don't covet your neighbor, thine has to stop murdering. Yemen, famines, blowing up nations, stealing everything they got. That's why the bomb blew up, is because we are still attached to this idea that the gods came from the Holy Lands, right? And that's what's happening. So whether it is Israel, Jews, the Christians, and the Sunnis, and the other Muslims, and all together fighting, it's because it's the Holy Land, it's the Crusades. We make bombs to protect ourselves, to blow up other people, because other people trying to blow us up. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it might sound a little crazy to you first time listening, but I don't know. I think we can only reason our way into what actually is happening in this world. The same way we helped the grizzly bear, the polar bear, by lying like hell. Yeah, y'all lied. I know you trying to help, but you lied. Y'all went on TV because you had that TV. Like, oh, the polar bears are starving. Do what I say. It's like, no, stop it. That's exactly what we would do. We invented time. What did? We told you in the future all the polar bears were going to be gone if you don't do what I say. Actually, it's the same exact thing. We didn't have a time machine, but we gave you a vision of the future on television, tele-vision, which is the danger of that television. Anyway, what did I want to do? I need to show you something else. The Greater Israel Project. What is the Greater Israel Project? I am unfamiliar with the Greater Israel. But see, this gets back to Star Trek and First Contact. How that happened. They saw us and they knew that we were there. Y'all, I'm an old Trekkie. I actually spent a whole lot of time with the Trek. And it goes back, and so the Crusades, like all of that stuff. What we are, we're still in the Crusade. You know what? Let's do that. We're still in the crusade. We've never stopped crusading. We're still crusading, and people are protecting themselves from us, and they're protecting themselves from each other. We've never stopped that violence. Why? Because that's where God appeared. God left, God never came back, and we made these religions.
It is a very polarizing topic in today's political atmosphere,
Crusade.
and it's still very much fresh in people's memories.
We're all still colonized.
Despite occurring nearly
decolonize the planet, give all the land back to all the people. I wait for somebody to post some reason why we shouldn't do that. What on earth would not resolve itself if we shared all the resources back to the earth?
1,000 years ago. Depending on who you talk to, the Crusades may invoke images of brutality and intolerance, or on the opposite side of the spectrum, bravery and chivalry, but I'm not here today to talk about motives or try to shift the blame of something that occurred 1,000 years ago on the modern people of the Middle East or Europe. Instead, we're going to be looking at the legacy these Crusaders left on the Middle East, particularly the Levant, and their connection with the modern people of these regions today. Although the people of the Levant largely identify as Arabs currently, such as the case in Syria, Lebanon, and Jordan, this was not always the case, with the Levant having many ancient groups that have had a tremendous impact on both Eastern and Western society. One of the first recorded civilizations in the Middle East were the Canaanites, an Afro-Asiatic people group that would later evolve into the Hebrew and Phoenician-speaking peoples, with the Hebrews later becoming the Israelites and Judeans, while the Phoenicians are notable for creating the system of writing that would later derive into the Arabic, Hebrew, Greek, and Latin scripts. The Phoenicians were essentially the Greeks of the Middle East, meaning that they were the main purveyors of civilization and culture in the region, establishing trade and settling throughout the Mediterranean, especially in North Africa, where they established the Empire of Carthage, which was one of the first real rivals of the Romans. The Phoenicians were absorbed by many empires over the years, including the Assyrians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, and later the Byzantines, and it was around this latter period that Christianity first began to spread throughout the Roman and Byzantine empires, with the Levant being one of the first major regions to adopt Christianity, converting from the former paganistic religions. The region of the Middle East was largely the hub of Christianity for a few hundred years, up until the 7th century AD, when Islamic forces from the Arabian Peninsula quickly spread throughout the region, and the Umayyad Caliphate spread Islam in the Arabic language throughout the Levant, although there were still large minorities of Jews, and in many regions such as Syria, Egypt, and the Maghreb, Christians actually made up a majority for quite some time, although gradually through assimilation and conversion, the Levantine population was Arabized and became one of the core areas of the Islamic and Arab world, although the legacy of the previous inhabitants, the Assyrians and Phoenicians, largely lived on through culture and heritage. By taking a snapshot of the world around the end of the first millennia, the Middle East is divided between the Fatimid Caliphate, an Arab empire, and the Seljuks, a Turco-Persian empire, with the traditional homeland of the Christianity being in Muslim hands, which of course didn't sit too well with the Catholic Church at the time. This led the Church to finance a series of excursions known as the Crusades, which took place in and around the so-called Holy Land in an attempt to recapture Jerusalem. And the First Crusade, which started in the year 1096, was largely a success in that aspect, with several different kingdoms being established by the Crusaders in the Levant being carved from the Seljuk Empire. But where exactly did these first Crusaders come from? Well, the Crusades carried on over a period of a couple hundred years, and alliances were very convoluted and largely ephemeral, being much more complicated than most people would think, with there being Muslim and Christian groups fighting amongst each other, all the while creating new enemies around each other in this very volatile and hostile environment. The initial Crusaders were mostly loyal to the Catholic Church and overwhelmingly came from Western Europe, which at the time was split into many kingdoms, but still mostly under the influence of the late Roman Empire, which had been defunct for over 500 years. However, its legacy still affected most of Europe through culture and language to various extents. The main contributors to the Crusades were initially the Kingdom of France and the Holy Roman Empire, an empire which spanned northern Italy, Germany, and many areas of Central Europe. However, Latin was largely the lingua franca, and thus the majority of the Crusaders spoke either Latin or French. The Byzantine Empire was in decline during this period after losing a considerable amount of territory to the Seljuks, and thus initially supported the Latin Crusaders. However, the Catholic Church considered the Eastern Orthodox practitioners to be heretics, and the Holy Roman Empire would turn on the Byzantines by the time of the Third Crusade around 100 years later. In the meantime, the Europeans, or Franks as they were referred to, had established 4 countries throughout the Middle East: the Kingdom of Jerusalem around modern Israel, the County of Tripoli in Lebanon, the Principality of Antioch in Syria, and the County of Edessa in Anatolia. At the onset of the establishment of the kingdoms, a small number of Europeans settled in the area from places like Germany, Italy, and France, and later on from other regions of Europe including Scandinavia and Great Britain. The settlers included veteran knights of the Crusades, traders, merchants, and farmers, and mostly settled in large cities such as Jerusalem, Antioch, and Tyre. Although in all regions the Catholic Franks were a minority, perhaps making up 1/4 of the population at the most, while others included Arab Muslims along with native Eastern Orthodox Christians such as Greeks, Armenians, and Assyrians. Accounts vary on the social status of the multitude of ethnic and religious groups in the kingdom, but it's generally accepted that Catholics were at the top of the hierarchy, with Orthodox Christians beneath them, with some sources claiming that Muslims and Jews had equal rights with the Eastern Christians as well. And most towns practiced a feudal medieval age form of serfdom, similar to that practiced in Western Europe, although many Eastern Orthodox or Islamic traditions were also retained in the countryside. The Crusader states lasted for around 200 years and actually managed to ally themselves with the Mongols until they were defeated by the Egyptian Mamluks in 1291, driving out the last of the Frankish kings, and most of the Europeans that had settled in the Kingdom of Jerusalem, the majority of whom had lived in the region for generations, were either killed or fled, although many did remain in the countryside, having assimilated into Greek or Arab villages. Before the fall of the Middle Eastern Franks, it was common for Crusaders to marry into the native population, converting a handful of Muslim, Orthodox, or Jewish women, with the descendants mostly integrating into the Catholic population, although they would occasionally integrate into both the Muslim and Orthodox population as well. As mentioned earlier, the Christian population was gradually phased out due to lower birth rates, conversion to Islam, and a high degree of emigration for Christian groups, and they went from a majority in the Holy Land to only a small minority over the 1,000 years since the Crusade. But the influence of the European Crusaders was never fully purged from the Levant, even after centuries of Islamic rule, with the next period of European rule in the Middle East arguably being the Occupied Enemy Territory Administration, or OETA, in 1917, made up of concessions from the Ottoman Empire after World War I, which consisted of Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine, with the first two falling under French control, and the last being established as the British Mandate of Palestine, which would later be divided into Israel, Palestine, and Jordan. The European mandates of the Middle East were clearly less incorporated than they were under the Ottoman Empire, and relatively few French or other European colonists had settled in the region, although a small European minority had already been present in places like Lebanon and Syria for centuries, even before European rule, mostly Italian and Greek merchants settling in the Ottoman Empire who retained their language and religion. The ethno-linguistic situation in the Levant...
You get the point. You get the point. I don't want to go through too much, but you can watch the whole history. Like, the whole point is colonization. That's all it is. It's just we're being kept alive. That's a bad idea. I do want to take a peek and see what RT looks like. RT actually had an interesting take.
What occurred here?
Just go back, hold
on the program to Alessandro Bruno. Alessandro's an analyst at Gulf State Analytics to get a sense of his take on what occurred here. Alessandro, quite extraordinary footage, video coming out of those blasts, that explosion. So far, there's little clarity. In fact, there's no official verdict as to what caused this blast. We know that both Hezbollah and Israel have denied involvement. There had been early speculation that they were involved. How does it look to you at this stage?
Well, thank you for having me. Sure. I don't want to speculate because the potential sources of the explosion are numerous. And I still would not discount an Israeli attack given the recent tensions at the southern border of Lebanon and claims that fighters want to get in. Also noting Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's personal legal problems and the convenience that a war in Lebanon would provide as a distraction. Then there is the trial of Hariri coming to a conclusion with the verdict on Friday, as you mentioned. So the Hezbollah-Israel connection is definitely there. And then there is the overall situation in Lebanon, which has completely collapsed since March, when the country was defaulted on a $1.2 billion Eurobond. And the Lebanese currency has collapsed, losing something like 8 times its value to the dollar. Imagine people's mortgages are priced in dollars, but they earn in Lebanese lira. So we've got an eightfold increase in mortgage prices. The level of poverty in Beirut and Lebanon has exploded. Until this explosion, the big problem people were talking about in Lebanon were suicides, personal suicides, people unable to survive, both locals and even immigrant workers in the country. There was a case of an Ethiopian worker, for example. So we have really a devastating psychological, economic situation compounded by the COVID crisis, where people really, I think, at this point could not care less about it because the problems they're dealing with at a personal level are so big.
The initial aftermath, of course, is how do people get treated? And we're hearing, Alessandro, that hospitals are reportedly now full of people from the blasts. The exact numbers, though, aren't known in that stage. Are local hospitals, are they sufficient? What you've been taking us through, the volatile situations, are hospitals sufficiently well equipped to deal with such a tragedy?
Well, hospitals are probably not equipped to deal with this additional burden, considering already the financial stress they're under. Do you know what interesting? Speaking of hospitals, one of the recent trends in robberies in Beirut has been pharmacies, because it's difficult to get access to basic medicine and basic medicinals. So the country is undergoing, really, this blast could not have happened in the worst time, which is why it's so suspicious. It seems to be, I think what we're talking about is a Archduke Ferdinand moment for Lebanon, for a new civil war, which a number of forces want to trigger, perhaps shifting it from Syria, where by and large, and it has been brought under control, or at least relative control. And now we're seeing finally what many were expecting, a filtration of the war into Lebanon. There have been rumors of former ISIS fighters coming in from Idlib via Turkey with weapons arriving in Tripoli, Tripoli, Lebanon, that is. And these fighters are preparing to battle with Hezbollah, and therefore those munitions in the area of the blast.
Alessandro, we're just going to break. It's going to take us to break whether we like it or not. But thank you very much for giving us your take on that. Alessandro Bruno, analyst at Gulf State Analytics.
Beirut, Lebanon awoke to scenes of utter devastation this morning after two colossal explosions devastated parts of this country's capital. They happened at a warehouse where nearly 3,000 tons of highly explosive ammonia was stored, apparently without any safety measures. At least 100 people were killed, some 4,000 injured, that according to the Red Cross.
What did you hear?
We're getting these live images right now from Beirut, where smoke continues.
You know what I heard out of all of that? It is complex. I see y'all see what you're typing. I hear you. It's complex. Very complex. It's supposed to be. Because I like to keep it simple. You leave people alone. They had the land. They were conscious. You didn't convince them it was the Holy Land. They didn't need to fight. Israel wasn't involved. You didn't have colonization from America and everybody else. Same thing in Hawaii. Confessions of an economic hitman. And it all comes down to that. And on top of that, it's usually a distraction for something else. So that's the real question is, well, what else is there? And it's not really even a question, because the distraction is a distraction for the cuckoo virus distraction, which is on top of the other distraction. Distractions upon distraction. Why? To keep you distracted. That's it. They do all of this consistently and constantly. They're making a new world order. That has always been the intent of colonization, is to make colonies, to take lands from people, to increase your power. And we'll eventually get there with one massive world colony. Aliens. Aliens. It always gets back to something cares about us enough where it tries to drive us forward. We get off track, comes back down, brings a new messenger, gives us something prophetic. Now, don't kill yourself. You're the Tasmanian tiger. You're the polar bear. You're the polka dot shrew. Here's what you need. You need new habitat. You need this. We need to bring you into the zoo, change your genetics, help you out, release you. But it all comes down to the same thing, is the way I see it. I want to be interested. I'm not really interested. Because we don't have to do it. That's why. We don't have to do it. We don't have to do it. False flags are flying everywhere. Daniel, it always has the scent of that, right? It doesn't mean when you say false flag, once again, it doesn't mean that people don't die. It means somebody finds a way to make profit out of a situation. Same thing you got going on with the cuckoo virus and everything else. The DEA, that's another good example right there. The DEA on steroids, pharmaceutical police state. They're trying to do it globally. Absolutely Kentucky Fried Mama. I always say that they're all religious wars. Every war is a religious war, Kentucky Fried Mama. I like how you say it that way. I think every conflict, all violence is religious. All of them. They're all based in their belief system. They're all based in faith. They're all based in the faith that I can control you. You must do what I say. You must pay me homage. You must pay me taxes. You must give me your land. You must wear a mask. You must, everything's religious. It's a faith. You must take my injection, which I know will help cure you, which will save me. Everything is based in faith. It's all based in faith. Anytime you want to abuse somebody else, which is it's violence, it's always a violation. It's always based in faith. So to me, I agree with you. It's all religious. It always ever is. It's all religious. All fogs are fly. Oh, go on, bro, fine. That's why I keep that brother around. All flags are false. All of them. Every last one of them. They're all based in this religious idea that you belong to something else. And you don't belong to something else. Sovereignty, once again, give back the land. The only thing that's sovereign is the human damn being. That's it. That's the only thing that's sovereign. Every other entity you make is invalid, whether system, corporation, or government. They're all invalid. Bob Marley said it. Why did Bob Marley say all laws are illegal? Because all laws are illegal. Why? Because criminals made the laws. How do we know that? Well, we stole Hawaii. We stole Texas. We stole all the land. We stole everything. Everything we got is stolen. We like to convince ourselves, oh, it's because we're so smart. We work so hard. We're the Americans. We blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. We're thieves, thugs and robbers. We're the Bloods and the Crips. We just got more guns than everybody else. We rob other neighborhoods and we bring the resources home and we give our gang a sense of pride. All you got to do is give the land back to the people, which, once again, is the funny thing to me, because that's what the right wants, that's what the left wants, but we don't get that because the two groups hate each other. They just want the land back, and so do the Native Americans, and so do Hawaiians. The Kingdom of Hawaii. It's not even, is it called Hawaii? Or when they stole Hawaii, did they make that up? All of this is confessions of an economic hitman. It's the only reason people make bombs to defend themselves or bomb other people. It's religious. That is why religion is no good, spirituality is real. And I agree with you, Marie. And all religions, even the religion of chemistry to cure biological creatures, big pharma religion, all those religions, right? Because you ignore other sciences, right? Like that's how we got here. Rockefeller threw out biological, physiological science and just said everything has to be chemicals, right? And so everything has to be profitable. All medicine has to be profitable and it all has to be patented chemicals. That's why we're here when it comes to that. So religion, it spans, it's not about holy books. It's about, to me anyway, it's about faith. If you have faith in things that you can't see, then you need to see them for yourself and don't project them on other people. Like the whole biological reference to these face diapers that people want to put on their face. Because flags are organized claim stakers. Yeah, they are. They're organized claim stakers, and then you get people excited about a flag. You rally them faithfully behind the flag, and they're willing to go to the Holy Land and kill other people for the things they can get. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Jasmine. You must follow your own heart and mind. That's all that matters, Jasmine, is your heart and your mind. That's it. But they give you a heart and a mind for an illogical, unscientific, unsovereign thing called a nation and a flag, and then you teach your children to be slaves to that. And all I see in that, Jasmine, is slavery. That's all I see. I just see slavery, 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 slavery. It's a slave mind. Everybody's got this master, and they have faith in the master. They all want to live closer to the master. They all want a big house close. And to a degree, we're all house slaves. Well, by we, I mean you. I don't mean, no, I defy the system at every angle. And that's probably my flaw, because if the TV says jump, I'm going to get down. If it says go left, I'm going to go right. If it says black people should go this way, I'm going to go the other way, because I ain't even black. Well, I'm not going to go nowhere. I'm just going to stand there, because this is crazy. Hang on. See if I can find one more. Actually, I want to finish this one.
Continues to billow over the blast site. The explosions shattered windows as far as 20 kilometers away. Rescue workers are continuing to look for survivors beneath the rubble there. It is unclear how many people are missing at this hour.
A devastating blast, followed by billows of smoke, visible from all across the city. The massive explosion rocked Beirut on Tuesday evening, flattening the city's port area, with buildings destroyed and people trapped under the rubble. Ambulances raced to and from the area, transporting the injured to hospitals. We were at home. We heard what sounded like fireworks. We thought it was a container in the port that was on fire and they weren't able to put it out. A few seconds later, we were flying through the air. We heard the first explosion. We went to see what happened. I didn't have time. I didn't realize there would be a second explosion. The glass exploded in front of me. The blast destroyed buildings not only at the port where it originated, but across much of Beirut, even kilometers away from the epicenter. Shop windows were smashed, walls and doors of people's homes knocked down. The Prime Minister said those responsible will be brought to justice. It will not pass without accountability. Those responsible for this catastrophe will pay the price. This is a promise to the martyrs and the injured. This is a national commitment. The blast hit a country already struggling with the coronavirus pandemic and a deep economic crisis. Hospitals, already burdened with COVID-19 patients, are overwhelmed. Countries, including longtime rival Israel, have offered humanitarian aid to Lebanon. Support is sorely needed to help the country deal with this enormous catastrophe.
We're joined now by our correspondent, Razan Salman, in Beirut. A very difficult morning where you are, Razan. Can you describe for us your experience of what happened last night?
Indeed, Brian, this was really a catastrophe. When the explosion took place, I was at my own house. My house is like at least 10 kilometers away from the location of the explosion. All the glass in all the fronts in my house were all exploded. I have no fronts in my house anymore. I thought the explosion was right under my building. And then when I went to the location of the explosion, when I was on the way, I saw the ambulances. They were picking casualties from areas that are very far from the location of the explosion. The smoke was all around Beirut. You could see the smoke from any area you are in Beirut. There was a total state of chaos and panic. People were panicking. At first, nobody knew what happened. And then when the news started coming, people understood. But it was because their homes were already destroyed, even if they were very far from the place of the explosion. The glass was covering most of Beirut streets. The storefronts in all of downtown Beirut are all now on the streets. And this comes at a very hard time for Lebanon, where Lebanon is already suffering from a very difficult economic crisis. And also, when I was on the way, people were asking if they could put casualties in my own car, but luckily there were many ambulances that were already picking people. And this morning, hospitals are packed. There are at least 78 dead or 100 dead, according to the Red Cross, and at least 4,000 injured people. So there is no more space in the hospital to welcome the people who are injured. And yeah.
Razan, a very difficult situation you're describing there. We've been seeing scenes of mountains of rubble around the blast site and farther away as well. Is there any idea how many people are trapped right now beneath the rubble that need help, that need rescuers to get to them?
We have no idea how many people need help under the rubble. The rescuers are still digging under the rubble, and there are helicopters that are searching for people who were thrown away to the sea because of the massive blast, the massive explosion. So rescuers are still working. They're still looking for people. I am in an area that is very near to one of the most renowned hospitals in Beirut. The ambulances were coming in and out. And there was a total state of panic and chaos till now, because they cannot even count the number of injured, or there are also people who are still lost, and nobody knows what happened to them. They are still looking for people who are lost.
Does Beirut, does Lebanon have the capacity to get to all of these people and to treat them medically?
Lebanon, after all the coronavirus outbreak, and Lebanon was already in state of panic because of this pandemic, and then the explosion came out. It came out at a very bad time. So rescuers and the hospitals, they announced, the Minister of Health, he announced that the hospitals have no more capacity to welcome the patients, the injured people, and they are treating the injured people in the corridors of the hospitals, since rooms are already packed.
Razan, we have
outside Beirut.
Time for one more question, Razan. Why was this ammonium nitrate stored so close to the city center, so much of it, 3,000 tons, right there in the port area, and who was responsible for that? Do you have any idea?
There is the Prime Minister, when in his statement he said he will not preempt any assumption because and they will investigate to see who is responsible for this. The tons, the almost 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate were there since 2014, and they were stored without measures, according to the president of Lebanon, Michel Aoun, in a statement he said yesterday during the meeting of the High Council of Defense.
Razan Salman in Beirut. We'll have much more from the Lebanese capital as the day progresses, of course. Thanks so very much for now, Razan, and all the best to you there in Beirut. Let's get more now with Joachim Paul. He heads the Beirut branch of the Heinrich Böll Foundation. That is a German think tank. Thanks so much for joining us today. A very difficult time. Are you, your colleagues, their families okay?
Yes, thank you. A very difficult time indeed, but we're okay. Our department and office is destroyed, but we are okay. Who is not okay are all those people out there who suffered injuries, those thousands, and the Lebanese people who had to endure for months and months such a hardship and crisis.
From the COVID pandemic you're referring to there, I imagine, Joachim, these explosions come as Beirut, Lebanon, is in the midst of a social and political crisis, a number of crises. What needs to happen right now to get the country and its people through this shock?
Yes, Lebanon is in not one crisis. It's in the midst of multiple crises. You mentioned the Corona crisis. Corona came after millions of Lebanese protested against their government, not only the government, against the complete political system, which is totally corrupt and which is not ready to start any reform and to open up the system, which is exactly the problem. Then the financial crisis hit. 50% of assets the country were destroyed. A massive amount of people were pushed under the poverty line. Then came Corona, several month long lockdown. Now a surge in numbers of Corona infection, and then this incredible. Sorry, please.
If the current elite, the business and political elite, is incapable of dealing with the Corona crisis and now this crisis, who can help the country move forward?
The demands of the democracy movement were from the start, from the 17th of October, for the government to step down and to allow a government of experts, of independents who do not belong or do not represent the traditional political elite or political parties, to take over with a limited mandate, the mandate to steer the country through the economic crisis. And this did not happen. The now government negotiated with the International Monetary Fund and other international donors, knowing that international aid and international financial support is the only way out of the acute, massive crisis the country is in. Nothing happened.
Yeah, it is an acute crisis. And right now there's a new one. We're looking at the port, Lebanon's imports. A million.
Okay, I gotta stop. I have to stop. Yeah. Well, I agree with everybody. I'm reading your comments, and I agree with everybody. All of those things are possible. All of them. Real people die, and we continue to play this psychopathic game of power all over the world. We can help everybody. We can take care of everybody. We just choose not to. This is why it's so hard to watch the news. because anytime I watch it, I just sit there and I hear people debating about the mid-tier issues. Race, religion, economics, money, debt, banks, economic plaques, cuckoo virus, and these are all side effects of the same problem, the same root problem, which is we have people who pretty much own all the resources in the land and they want to keep everybody in conflict and they just don't want to share. You know, which is why I go back to free energy all the damn time. In the 1940s, since the 1940s, anybody who's made a free energy device is a criminal. So why does economics even exist? Why do conflict-based societies and currencies even exist if you have free energy? There's no reason. There was no reason for them to in the 1940s, but you got to keep everyone in conflict. That's the only way you can take over an entire world. So whether it was for a port, whether it was for Israel, whether it was for this, that, whether it was a bomb from the sky or nitrate in there, the bottom line is we have a world where we're keeping violence alive as a model. So I guess that's my perspective. I just don't really care to speculate. When I look at something, I try to determine, well, what is the root cause behind it, and is there a solution to that root? And if the root cause behind it is everybody wants to be left alone, everybody wants land, everybody wants food, water, freedom, and have some fun, enjoy their life, then if we can provide them that, then what does it matter if it has anything to do with nations or religions or solve the problem? That's why it's so hard for me to watch the news. Because anytime I watch it, it's just like I hear all the talk around it. And anybody find it interesting how much they put cuckoo virus in there? So on top of all the other problems, they have to reinforce with you that you need to be scared of this invisible thing you can't see that somebody's probably releasing in key areas to get people upset, to show them that there's something going around. But they're not actually releasing it in mass. They're just releasing it in certain places just to create enough fear to collapse the world's currencies and global systems, to keep everything under control. Like I said something to a buddy of mine years ago. That's like, oh, this is happening. Something was happening. I forgot what it was at the time. And I was just like, yeah, this is going to start World War III. And he's like, they don't want World War III. He said, it's not going to happen. I was like, what are you talking about? You mean they? He said, they. He said, they, whoever they are, won't make money on a World War III. You don't make money when you're blowing up the things you can make profit on. All they care about is control and profit, right? And they don't want to blow up the things that might get out of control. So what they do is they do controlled conflicts. They do controlled police actions. There is no world war. And he speculates, they say that world war will probably never happen. All they want is the land and resources and profit and control. And if they got that, then they'd be stupid. They'd be shooting their own foot, right? Because it looks like mine. Because it looks like mine next to some zucchini squash, because I don't put on lotion, I walk in the garden. You don't shoot your foot, you get some lotion. If that's the type of foot that you want. If you want a moisturized foot. They keep injecting this, and it's like a positive reinforcement, Kentucky Fried Mama. You hear it? Like they're always constantly programming it in. And see, whether I wanted to or not, I heard that. Whether I wanted to or not, I heard that. My conscious heard that. My conscious mind was like cuckoo virus, but my subconscious mind was like, yeah, we need to be fearful. There's something out there going to get us. Maybe we should wear a mask. And my conscious mind is constantly fighting it, like, 125 micron virus. The OSHA says you can't have a job in the lab unless you have a level 3 bioweapon suit. But politicians telling people to go outside at a 0.3, micron mask. And, So anyway, that's my take on it. I really, not that, I care because people die. The mid-tier stuff, I don't really care anything about. To me, it's a waste of time. It's all religion. It's all faith. It's all faith-based things. So horrific, can you even imagine? I can't imagine Barbara Peters, and when I do, I get upset, and I don't like to be upset. The world is kept the way it is because we continue to support and keep it this way. Ammonium nitrate is a plausible explanation. Whether or not the circumstances were incidental or not is another matter. So I don't know both. I'm not over there, and I'm convinced that the television lies to me about oxygen and water and everything. So I'm convinced they can lie to me about that. The bottom line is, should we continue to keep a world where this happens? And the answer to me is always no. So I just kind of leave it at that. And the innocent are always the ones that suffer, the innocent. Yeah, they are, Daniel. Well, we sacrifice the innocent. We pretend that we don't. We call them casualties, and they're not. They're just innocent people who just want to be left alone. They want to live their life. But of course, they have to die to scare us, to get us to act in a certain way. Good morning, Susan, Robert. Good morning, Jasmine, Marie, Christine, Jennifer, Meg, Barbara, Tony, Tommy, and Brett. Yeah, I don't have a take on it. It's insignificant to what we got to do. The gods came here and they said, grow the hell up. That's what they said, 10 Commandments, said, grow the hell up. Act like you're sentient, act like you're conscious. We're not doing that. All right, we get in teams, pull levers, vote to keep the world as psychopathic and plantation as possible. And I don't think it's a good idea. So I really don't want to interject in the conversation. I actually regret looking at it. I'm going to be honest with you. I actually regret making a video looking at it now that I've really been annoyed just in watching the news for 15 minutes. Annoyed. It's annoying when you know you can fix the problem, but you don't fix the problem. It's like the little baby. The whole thing with the baby, they got the round peg and the star and the square. And the baby is trying to get the round peg through the square, and you want to take the round peg and say, no, baby, it's the round hole. The round peg goes in the round hole. And you want to help the baby with that, but, the baby doesn't want your help. The baby wants a war. The baby wants a central bank. And it's just like, no, baby, we're trying to help. He's like, we don't need any help. And where's your mask? So, it's just one of those things. Trauma by video. Yeah, Brother Mark. Well, that's why. Television. All they got to do is keep pumping it in your head. And eventually you're going to accept it and believe it, which is why I don't watch the news. I'm convinced that they're digitally popcorning people. They're still digitally popcorning people. When they used to cut out the slides in the movies and slide in popcorn, that actually is what that was. They slid it in. They're sliding in trauma in a digital way. Cuckoo virus, cuckoo virus, cuckoo virus, Muslim, 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 Christian, 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 left, left, right, right, hate, hate, racism, blah, 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 blah. They just keep repeating these things that they want everybody to be scared of. And, my conscious mind, I'm just not scared. I really don't care. And that's why the gods came here and Captain Kirk and Spock and reading the magazine to realize how crazy we are. And they said, no, we can't show ourselves to these people. We can't reveal ourselves to these people. What we'll do is we'll teach them math and science and agriculture and other different ways and try to evolve them. And they get off course, then we'll bring them back, help them out like the Tasmanian tiger. And that's how what the historians say. They said over a dozen times in known history, the human race has been knocked down to like under 10,000 people. I don't know where they got that from, but I found that to be interesting, that we always get help. There's always this silent subliminal help that brings us back. Almost as if God will never leave nor forsake us. Ish. But God will let you get jacked up. Won't leave and forsake you, but they'll let you get knocked back to 10,000 people. But I think that's more plausible or more interesting, in my opinion. Anything else that's in the news, it's boring. It was entertaining when I was young. Now that I'm older and older, the older I get, the more I'm like, well, we got everything to solve all the problems. So why don't we just do the right things and solve all the problems? Then we don't have to worry about none of this. Things to come home soon. Oh, absolutely. Well, those chickens always come home to roost, Mark, don't they? They always come home to roost. And we think, the majority of people still think that 9/11 was an outside job. And it's like, yeah, well, you know what? It's going to come home to roost. It worked the first time. You believe the first time, it's going to happen again. JFK killing a president, well, they got away with it that time. You don't think they'd do it again? Why is it I don't play the Trump thing? I don't play the Obama and Biden thing. I don't really care anything about that. I know that there are people with significant power or corporations, whatever they are, that can kill an American president. So there's no American president that's going to do anything that you want to do for you because it's not your nation. It's their nation. They own the nation. They'll let you get little trinkets here and there, but they're not going to do anything significant. They got to scare you. Trump, 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 Trump. It's coming to get you. Because I like facts. Facts stand on their own. Imagine planes from a faux government routinely flying overhead. Why would you not suspect them? Well, I guess Karen, is that or Kay? I'm sorry. Okay. Is that yeah, I wouldn't like the other name either, because people nowadays, they go a little crazy. I'm gonna take that to the root, Kay, and I'm just gonna say, why do planes have weapons on them? Would a sentient species actually that listens to its gods or natural law, would it put things that can kill people on planes and send those planes in the air? That's my question. The whole nation part, I don't really care. I'm not a part of a nation. I'm just a dude. I'm a creature. That's all I am. Anytime medical treatment is forced on people, it's not about health. Exactly, Lori, because you don't have to force medicine on people. You know, it's not medicine if you force it on people. It's just drugs, it's chemicals. It's called medicine when somebody wants it. When you force it, it's called the Tuskegee experiment. No, Tuskegee, they got tricked into wanting it too. It's violence. That's all it's violence. It's just violence. Or medical testing, I agree with you. It's violence, testing, experiment, it's all of that, but it's not help. It's never help. It's violence. Somebody sticks something in you that you don't want in you, that's called rape. And I'm being throttled. Okay, what I do, Jimmy? I'm being throttled. Well, I'm glad that you said that too. I was gonna make a post and I stopped, because apparently if you stay on one topic, they'll just delete your whole page nowadays. You know what I needed to know to really firmly just say cuckoo virus and believe it, which I believed it after day 2, but it just keeps getting reaffirmed, is the fact that doctors make videos that get deleted by IT companies. That blows my mind. Doctors made videos. By the 3rd grade, I think, 3rd or 4th grade, we realized what science was. We were taught that science actually is taking in all the data and not censoring any of it. That if anybody censors any data, that you basically thrown out your conclusion. Your results are invalid. Your conclusion's invalid. All your points are invalid if you have to hide data. If you got to cover it up, it means that you're probably guilty in some deceit or something else. But it's not science. It's not methodical. It's not intellectual. It's weaponized television. Weaponized television. So I'm against everything that they want to do. The fact that they're silencing doctors that are trying to help people. Can't control a populace if they figure out the truth for themselves. No, you can't, Beaufont, and that's why they delete the truth. They delete the truth, they delete the facts, they delete the doctors. The fact that they deleted somebody saying hydro, blah, 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 tells you everything you need to know about hydro, blah, 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 blah. That's it. And anyone who's still playing the game is either very ignorant or they're just being deceitful, right? They're just being deceitful. You know, we have a social contract with every human being on this planet, not to lie, to be honest, and they won't be honest. So I can't have any interest. I don't have any interest in that side. The minute I know that you're lying, that's the end of it. That's the end. Like everything that you've said from hello, I got to throw out as trash. Live long, prosper. Going to the big city today. Well, you better hurry up, Mark. You better go to the big city. I think the big cities are about to go extinct. I think the concrete jungle's coming to an end. Good morning, Nancy Diamante. Now is the biggest social experiment ever. I'm just observing. Oh wait, now it is. It's the biggest, Jeannie. It's the biggest psychological experiment since the history of the human race. The biggest one, and they're doing it on children, which really makes me angry when I think about it. Which is why I try not to think about it. I flipped out the other day. We in the, oh goodness gracious, I can barely read that. We in those we commensurate with possesses drones that deploy mini nuclear bombs. At this point, war has become a video game for the childish. About some hedonists gone wild for some doo-doo and giggles. Yes, absolutely, Miss Tree, absolutely. And you know what? And this is why I didn't go in the Air Force. I wanted to go, but I didn't go. That's why I love that movie Top Gun. That's why I broke the eardrum singing Into the Danger Zone, because we are in the danger zone. I was indoctrinated to be an American, so I hated the Russians. And when I grew up, I met Russian people, and I was like, oh, why do I hate you? Because I'm stupid. Because they took me as a child, and they made me a clone, and they brainwashed me, and they gave me a religion called America, which is a lie, because they stole the land from other people. And they stole Hawaii from the Hawaiians. And it's just, Nah, I'm not interested. And they made it a video game. When I was growing, who's that? Miss Tree? When I was growing up, I remember when they made the first flight simulator. And I remember when they made the one that was visual. We played them the whole time because it was a video game. You weren't really flying anything. You weren't killing people. It was a game. And it's the drone pilots, which I appreciate. Remember the drone pilot that, he was a whistleblower? The drone pilot, what was his name? He said that, sir, I think that's a dog. No, sir, I think that's a child. And he said, fire on target or something like that. He said, no, sir, I think that's a child. He said, it's a dog, fire. They don't care. They don't care. And I think all you got to do is put yourself in everybody's shoes. I forgot his name, drone pilot, whistleblower. See if that comes up. And soon it probably won't, because once again, to keep people in your religion, you have to hide the real information, which is why the Vatican has all those scriptures underneath that, and they burned up the Library of Alexandria. If they actually let you know the truth, then you might actually do something true. For the same reason that they hide scriptures from all the religions, for the same reason the CIA got that classified Adam and Eve document, is the same reason they burned up the Library of Alexandria, is the same reason they delete doctors' videos. It's all the same damn thing. And if you're not old enough to understand why people lie to you, I just don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, but I come on every day and just say, we need to grow up. We need to just focus. Hey, Gerardian, did you get the water out of the basement? Did you designate it to a waiting pool? Well, water is life. That's Rebecca's talking about yesterday. So somebody's playing with the harp ship and water is life, and the harp ship put 4 feet of water in my basement. I went down there and said, oh, look at that. Somebody left life all down here. Yeah, there go all my stuff just floating away. It was one of those things, Rebecca, because the power was out. I had this sump issue, so I hooked up some hoses, started draining out the water, and just started draining out the life. And I was just waiting for the United States Incorporated to show up and strike oil or something. Somebody come lay some pipes to do some fracking. It's clean water. Oh no, we got to dirty that up with some oil. Yeah, I got it. When power came back on, it just pumps right back out. But I don't have anything important down in there. I understand we live in a world where all the important technology is kept for billionaires and trillionaires and big corporations. So I learned. I'm not stupid. I understand my basement's going to keep flooding because we don't like to use technology to help people. We use it to kill people and steal things. So I have no expectations on sump pumps actually finally working off of organs. What's the name of those things? The other free energy, Wilhelm Reich. You could just make pumps that actually work and just pull power right out the air, but they banned that in the 40s. And the first one we give Nikola Tesla, then Wilhelm Reich. And there were probably hundreds of other people who made technology that would actually make our world work. And that's why I was late this morning, Rebecca, because none of this was working. And the power went out. I mean, anybody think that's a little weird? I remember when I was a kid, the power went out so rarely. It was fascinating and fun. It was like something changed in Monkey World. It was like the power doesn't work. We couldn't wait. We ran out to the garage, got the kerosene heater, brought it in, turned it on. Dad, can we cook eggs on the kerosene heater? I still remember that day. We was cooking some carcinogen eggs on a carcinogen kerosene heater. But it was fun. It was very rarely did the power go out. And here we are, damn near 40-some years later, but I'm still 29. And the power grid works less than back then. Now the power goes out 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 times a year. Sometimes it'll be out for a week. And we're an evolved nation. We're technologically moving forward, that every 40 years our technology goes back 30. Like, it's just, this is why I don't want to play the game. Rebecca, I don't even want to watch the news. I realize that we do have to pay attention to what's happening in the world, but the real problems are never there. And so the real solutions will never be there either. But I got it out. I did not eat my penny pack squash though. That pissed me off. That pissed me off about the deep state and Invention Securities Act that bans any technology that helps people, and DARPA. I didn't get to make my penny pack squash. I got a great recipe for penny pack squash and eggs and onions. You saute the squash and the eggs and the onions. Oh man, delicious. I might make that for lunch today because I didn't have any power. But this is the stupid world we live in, and I complain about it, but there are other people who die from it, which is why I showed the second video. right? Like, as much as annoying that all of this is, people are dying. Dying. Children are dying. And we complain about white privilege. We complain about immigrants. We complain about the dumbest things that I've ever heard of because we're stupid. We're indoctrinated. We don't have to be. Nah, that's stupid, wrong word. Ignorant. Ignorant. We're given an ignorant faith at birth. But real people got real problems, and we're focused on fake problems. Problems. We're focused on problems. That's why I just laugh. And people, they try to get me behind it. Get in line. Nope, I don't want to be in that line. Y'all getting on the crazy train like yesterday. Do you really think the satire, wait a minute, do you really think that satire, a modest proposal, was supposed to be a satire or just a social testing too? Jeannie, I guess you're replying to somebody else. Good morning, Jane. Hey, Susan, how you doing? Same reason Vatican. See, you guys see this right here? This is confirmation right here. Same reason the Vatican has 56 miles of shelves full of ancient texts and artifacts no one is allowed to have access to. Why, Susan? Because it would break every religion on the planet. That's why. I guarantee you, Susan, the reason why they won't. And what is the rule with the Vatican? Something crazy like you can only go there and request a book that you already have the name of. You can only have the book for 3 hours, and you can only request 3 books, and you have to be attached to a research organization or university. That nonsense. Why? Because people get down there and they'll see pictures of green Jesus. They get down there and see Muhammad, the same thing. Or look like something else. I'm not interested. It's just, to me, it's crazy. I think there's one root faith. You have one creator, programmer of this massive creation simulation thing. And it's very, very little of it is in any of those books. And so, Susan, if I were a king back then, what would I do if I wanted to control the people? Same way they're controlling us now with the television and cuckoo virus and whatever they come up with next. Is I would just take out the scriptures that made it obvious that this wasn't God. This is some aliens, but I know I'd miss a few, like Ezekiel. God came down, didn't know Ezekiel's name. Said, how you God? You don't know Ezekiel. How you God? If somebody ever comes and you see some fire and wheels and a UFO in front of you and it's God. You challenge that God. Say, all right, what's my name? Say my name. Say my name. And if the God doesn't know your name, that's not a God. It's not an omnipotent God. That's called an alien. Or it's called an Atlantean or Inter-Earthian or whatever. All I know is the television world is a false reality. It's a false reality. I want to know what they burned on purpose in Notre Dame. Well, did they burn something on purpose in Notre Dame? Probably. That's a good question. You can go into the Masons and hiding things and structures and whatever, and hey, maybe they couldn't find something. Maybe something was in the structure. They need to burn it down and search for an ancient text or a chalice or what's the cup of Christ, the thing that gives everlasting life. It's just like, and it's something. I think it's interesting, Gene. It's interesting, and I think it's just technology. I think we looked at the cup, we're like, oh, the cup is powerful. The cup's going to give us everlasting life. The last cup from the Last Supper. When really, Jesus had some herbs or something, a little piece of technology, something he dropped in there, some minerals or something. I don't know. And later people drank it, some residue, and the person got young. I don't know. To me, I see everything as technology. I don't think that a God has a reason for those things. You see what I'm saying? I don't think God has a reason for those things. I think we do. And we project that onto this thing we call God and try to get people lined up behind us so we can get a bigger church, so we can get a better pulpit, so we can collect more on Sunday, or so that we can get everybody to take mass injections of our product. Everything comes down to profit. But the thing is about an enlightened population, you can't make no money off of it, can you? An enlightened population, informed people who question everything. People who are not involved in the slave mind. They don't have that mind where they need to be followed. They need to be led. The adults can make their own decisions, solve their own problems. They don't need to be led around. You can't make any profit off of those people because they question you everywhere you go. And they won't fall for a lot of this stuff. Protects from EMF and raises your energy vibes. Oregon. Well, Lori, which is why it had to be banned. That would actually make people healthy, give them free energy. They wouldn't be in conflict with other people. So obviously it makes sense. If you are a king, just how you delete scriptures, you have to ban that the same way to delete the doctor's videos. All right. Plant hemp. That's the solution. And it's simple for the plants and in the regulation. Absolutely, Jimmy. Well, we know that something brought cannabis here. Well, I think it did. I mean, it's just odd that one plant does all of that. One plant, one family, hemp cannabis does all of that. And the cousins, you know, they can make the strongest ropes. You can print plastic. They got the cannabinoids. We got an endocannabinoid system. You know, you had to ban that. You wouldn't have Rockefeller medicine if they actually kept that legal. Oregon domes, pendants, wands, garden, poles made by Gail Stark. The pieces are beautiful. Modestly priced. PM Gail Stark. Yes, absolutely. And I'm details and pics. And I'm fine with that plug, Lori, because Gail Stark is off the charts. She making something. She's making something with that Oregon. I can't speak to everybody's Oregon, but that woman knows that she woman's doing something. I got that Oregon, and I actually meditated with yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do it today, but I'll tell you more about how that goes in the near future. But that was another experiment they did, Lori. That was science, where they actually used Oregon and the plants grew better. It's something about taking energy out of the atmosphere and putting them back in. And I'm not going to convince you I know what it means or what it is. I know that we are energy. I know that plants are energy. They're not matter. They're actual energy. They're waves. We see them as matter because that's what our brain does. But if they're energy and you have devices or configurations of materials that takes energy out the ethos and puts it in something else, then yeah, it makes sense it might grow better. It makes sense that your white blood cells will work better. It makes sense that if you increase the things that your body needs, which are all waves and energy, then yeah, you'd be a lot healthier. So you got to ban all of that. Good morning, Jesse. Good morning, Karina. Good morning, Andrea. Let me see. Thieves use the most locks. Ooh, yes they do, Jimmy. Yes, ooh, because they stole it and they don't want anybody else to steal it. So you got the Vatican, you got the Pentagon, you got the DARPA, and you got the Invention Security Act to make sure that everybody has to go to work. Everybody stays a slave. You can't create no cotton gin to help people significantly. Otherwise, they won't go and build a world for you as slaves. Let me get down. So yeah, I just, the bomb, it is what it is. It's the bomb. That's what de-evolved creatures do. They keep scaring people, so they keep making bombs and they keep wanting to kill each other. The blood of the Holy Grail. That's right. Yeah, I guess, Jimmy, what they do, put some blood in there. And that makes sense too. I mean, just from a genetic perspective, we see what animal tissue does inside of us. It creates ancient diseases and problems, and they get covered up by big pharmaceutical industries. So could the blood of an alien, evolved creature, human from the future, whatever, have DNA or something in it to make people young again? Could, might, I don't know. Jimmy, all of it's plausible. Science is banned in the public domain, so we don't have any idea. We don't have any idea at all. That's why I can't take a lot of this seriously. I just look at them just like we're stupid. And as long as we're not ignorant, as long as we stay ignorant, we stay in conflict with other people, then we don't deserve science. Not in the public domain. We don't deserve real technology. We deserve to be, if we act like cattle, they're not going to treat us like we're bulls. They're going to treat us like we're livestock. And most people act like cattle because they watch that TV and the TV got them. All right. Anything else? Anything else? Jimmy T, I love birdies. Birdies are good. Oh, look at that. Y'all talking across platforms. Isn't that fun? Bottom line is that the God was created in our image and we should behave accordingly. And that, bottom line. See, this mistreat is why I get down with you, because it's just bottom line. Bottom line, act like you know. That's it. Somebody wants to get together. We need to get together to go bombs and beat. No. My God told me I ain't supposed to do that. And Dallas ain't supposed to be murdering. All right, I go to hell if I do that. We need to get together and take the kids from the parents and doing things that we don't like. No, my God said I'm not supposed to steal. I can't be involved with y'all. That's called human trafficking. You can call it DHS all you want, but it still takes stealing children from parents, and you ain't supposed to be doing that. No, thank you. natural law. You know, you don't even have to go to God. So that's just, I can't be involved in any of it. People say, well, you need to get out there and vote because we got to get Donald Trump out of office. I honestly don't care who's in office. You could have Mad with the big ears, Captain Kirk, Captain Crunch, Kirk, Spock, some Tasmanian tigers as a president all throughout Congress. I really don't care. If your model is stealing children and blowing up other countries, I can't have anything to do with you. I'm a captain. I'm a barbarian. I'm trapped here. I'm trapped here, and why don't you leave the country then? Because it's fun calling you stupid. Because I love you. For the same reason, I'm going to be very vocal. If somebody tell me to put on a damn mask in public to educate people, the same reason I'm staying right here. Why? Because I love you. I can't let you be stupid. I can't let you go out in public on obviously false information, putting your life at risk because your government's stupid and they're paid for by big pharmaceutical companies and they pull this every 2 years. No, people who love you tell you what's true. People who love you tell you what's true. People who hate you lie to you. They get in line with you and your religion. They don't tell you the truth about the Enuma Elish and the Sumerian texts and all the earlier texts, the Naga gods, the Sanskrit texts were all description from the Bible before the Hebrews and the Arabs had them, the earlier stories of Gilgamesh, right? And this is where all these religions come from. That's where they all come from. People who love you tell you the truth. People who don't love you, they say, come to church with me. People who don't love you, they lie to you. So I'm not going to lie to you about no mask. You know, just go read the OSHA regulation. That's all you got to do. You don't have to trust me. Yeah, why should I trust you? You're playing a scientist on television. No, actually, number one, this ain't television. And number two, I'm not playing a scientist. I'm saying go do your own research. I'm saying you go out, look up the OSHA regulations. What are you supposed to do with coronaviruses? What level of equipment do they require for people who actually do the job, who are actually exposed to it? But the droplets, well, obviously they don't stick through the droplets. So somebody lied to you. What you gonna do? You gonna change your behavior? You gonna keep being stupid? I love you. I do. I love you. But if I let you just stay stupid, then I'm bad as everybody else. You know, I have to change. And that's why I do this. I change all the time. When I get wrong, I say that I'm wrong and I change my behavior. That's called being an adult. It's called being grown up. It's called not having a faith other than what is true. What is true? And I seek God in that way. I want to know what's true. I have no interest in making anybody think like me. That's just stupid. Oh, did y'all see the study? Did y'all see the study, vegetarians? Did y'all know that y'all, what is it? Y'all have more strokes than everybody else. Did y'all see Dr. Greger's latest video? Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah, the vegetarians, they have more strokes. People are getting ready to chat. Oh, the vegetarians have more strokes. Ah, we told you were wrong. Boy, you took statistics class. I'm not going to give you the answer to the test. You do your own research. Yes, there was one study that showed that vegetarians have more strokes than everybody else. And Dr. Greger actually explained it to you. So you can go watch that on Dr. Greger. You can follow him on YouTube. It's one of the brothers, I love him to death. They can make a statistic look any way they want to. A great movie to watch that explain how a lot of that works. Propaganda is Thank You for Smoking. If you have not watched Thank You for Smoking, you need to get together with the kids, the husband, the wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Sit down and watch Thank You for Smoking, and you will understand the power of the media. All you need is a means of mass communication and charismatic people who know how to twist things up with a little spin. And you can create anything you want. You can create an alien invasion. You can create cuckoo virus, invisible things coming to kill people. You can create wars. You can convince people it's God and it's really aliens. You can do anything you want with a media and an influential person. Which is why I don't want to be an influential person. I want to be somebody who encourages people just to grow up and go do their own thing. Grow up. You know, if I say anything that you hate, pisses you off, makes you want to have a bad day, don't have a bad day. It could be a good day. You go do some research and you're an adult. All right, just give the land back. It always comes back to me. Give the land back, give the land back, give the land back. I want to see if I've missed anything from this morning. Give the land back to the people, and all the problems in the world fix themselves. That's it. There are no problems. I ask people to list any problems that don't go away. If we give people the land back in highly technological times, in times where we can take care of everybody, we can create solutions to fix all the problems, to make sure that the software and the robotics do all the heavy lifting, what problems would actually still exist if we actually were being governed, being taken care of, where lives actually mattered? What problems would not go away? And I don't see anybody listing anything. I don't think they are. Because there are no problems, which is why I don't watch the news, because there are no problems that go away. Ooh, maybe we got one. Hang on. Do we got one? Looks like we got one. Hey, I gotta fix this fast. So many screens open. This is ridiculous. We could have fixed that too, but of course Bill Gates runs the operating system, so there you go. If Windows ain't worked yet. Y'all know Windows ain't worked. You know I got a patch just 3 days ago. Windows still ain't worked. He been working on the damn Windows. I remember Windows back with DOS, before Windows. And that didn't work neither. But that actually worked better than Windows, because in DOS we had control. In Windows he took over control of everything, and that was what, in the 80s? So we done had Windows for 20, 30 some years. They ain't figured that out. So you think in 20, 30 minutes, he's going to fix your body. When the Native Americans were settled on a piece of land, it didn't really improve their lives. It improved their living situation in our eyes, but they are nomads, hunters. What are they going to do with a piece of land? They have to give us all the land back. I mean, they have to give us all the land back. Yes, they do. I'm not sure if is this a debate, Ricardo. I'm not sure I don't really debate, but what I know is this. I know that ain't my damn business what the Native Americans do with their land. It's not my business what Lori, Riley, Rebecca, Jimmy, Sandy, Jimmy, Mistreat, Jimmy, he all over the place on both platforms. It's not my business. What I know is when people have what they want, they become pleasant people. We have robots and automation to give them all those things. So whatever you do with your land is up to you. I know that you are a creature on earth and the land belongs to you. The earth belongs to you. It does not belong to governments, corporations, or psychopathic 13 families. That's what I know. We live in highly technological times. And when you give the land back, then you don't have to worry about bombs blowing up in Beirut. Dr. Border, and that came from Cindy Simmons, so that looks like that's probably another doctor saying something truthful to you that's going to be deleted on the internet. The only videos you need to watch are, that's the frontline doctors, right? Yeah, well, she's doing good. She's moving around and she's talking to other platforms best as she can. That should tell you that, why would you follow a deceitful person? Somebody answer that question to me. If you know somebody's obviously lying to you, a group, a cartel, a cult, whatever it is, an industry, and they're obviously lying to you and they're hiding information from you, why in the world would you follow them? Uh-oh, did I do a typo? Brother Glenn said I did a typo. Typo rape. Where's the typo? I don't like your grammar. I hate the King's English. What is this? The principal difference between a colonizer and person dictating you must wear a thingy in public, a face diaper. The Columbus consciousness. I didn't get anything wrong. That's right, Glenn. That's right. There ain't no difference. At the principal level, there's no difference. It's somebody trying to control you. They think they know what's best for you, and so they're gonna steal your kids and educate them. They're gonna give you some shots and do what their faith tells them, their religion, what they believe in. They'll abuse you for their God. Goodness gracious, we gotta go to that. What is this? Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's why the bomb blew up, because the world's been colonized. Free the world. You are in a danger zone. Ain't nobody safe. Popular ignorance might be the worst form of hate. It absolutely is the worst form of hate. There is no question about that. TV weaponizes the intellects of very smart people. Very smart people. But of course, they're political people. So they'll use this as a political means of gaining votes and control and getting more people in their faith and religion, a left or right, a Democrat, Republican. So they'll let people die so they can get votes. And I got a problem with that, because I'm supposed to have a problem with that. Thou shalt not kill, and thou shalt not let dummies kill other people doing dumb things. They weaponize your intellect. And that is the greatest killer. And then Hawaii. Hawaii is a free kingdom. We stole it. We stole Hawaii. How we stole everything else. Now it's time for global reparations. Everything, give it all back. Give it all back, and then all the violence in the world stops. There you go. And that's just me in public. Oh, there you go. Look at my points real quick. I got got some trolls, George said. Oh, I got trolls. Well, you know, the fun thing about reality is it doesn't matter. They let them troll. You know what? You know, y'all, who's that? George Telemon. Let the trolls troll. That's what they're supposed to do. They got them knots on their noses and they hide under bridges from reality and they scare people. Let them do it. Let the trolls be trolls. Let them troll on. Because I made my points. Here are my points right here. This is what I tried to say in the beginning, but I forgot. We got this from the OSHA consultant and Debbie Judy Miskovich, the doctor who actually worked on the viruses. All right, right there. 1.1, the physical science. You're not gonna stop something that small going through the holes that big in the best mask you can develop. 2, the OSHA regulations and the endless studies proving masks are useless with this strain of viruses. And 3. You're sending elderly people out with a false sense of security. Stop hating grandma. That's it. And you just leave it at that. You don't actually have to say anything else. And I'm gonna say it very loud in public. That's it. Stop. You hate grandmama. Stop hating grandmama. You get people grandmama killed. People get upset when you get their grandmamas killed. And that's all you gotta do. And then let people troll on behind that. And the good thing about that is when you say something's true and then people want to debate the truth of that, the regulators, the people, the OSHA folks who actually write the regulations for OSHA and then they protect the doctors with it. This is why I don't really care what the doctors have to say about it. Because the studies are funded by the regulators who actually do the tests on the masks, in the environments, the surgical environments, and just let people go. Because after that point, like, you know, you've already planted your seed. I really don't care what happens after that. You know, that facts stand on their own. You don't have to debate it. You don't have to fight with it. You don't have to argue. You don't have to go back and forth. Because somewhere deep down in that person saying, damn it, that makes sense. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Everything after that's just emotion and personal crap. I like to have discourse. I don't engage in arguments. It's a waste of my time. I don't debate anybody on anything. I find out information and I share it. Somebody finds out other information, they share it, and like, oh, okay, that makes some sense. Let's put all this together and see if we can't tweak this, because I was wrong on this, that part here, and that. Let's fix this, make that make some sense. And that's how you stay alive. It's called survival. Critical thought, not being stupid. I do science, I don't do political science. You know who Martin Luther King was and the German monk definancing of the Pope? No, I don't. I absolutely do not. I know Martin Luther King from the perspective of he had a dream, so the black people in power who wanted his power had to help work with the other people to kill him, so the dream would not be rolled out. Because if Dr. King's dream was rolled out, because what was he trying to do? He was trying to colonize. He was right. He was after the according to Dr. Pepper, Dr. William Pepper, he was trying to launch a constitutional convention. Yeah, he wanted to help restore the republic, which is the funniest thing to me. So they had to kill him. They had to get him out of there. You know, the left could not let that happen, and the right couldn't let that happen either. No, they need the United States Incorporation to stay in place, which means you had to kill the King dream, which is the deep right dream of restoring the republic. Constitutional convention, that's what he wanted. The founding fathers were fantastic people. They were well ahead of their time. They were the greatest progressives of their day, which is why they need you to hate them. Say, oh, they're racist. Yeah, you were born them, you be racist too. But as far as like restoring power to the people, they were far beyond feudalism. The idea of a government that's run by its people. You go ahead and try something like that today. They'll arrest you and put you deep in a CMU. You try something like that today that's relative and freeing people, giving back the land, they will blow your nation up. We know that because, what was his name, Chavez? What's his name, Chavez? What's the name of that country where he gave all the oil back to the people? Gave the oil back to the people. And then they get the right yelling and screaming, that's socialism! And the left is, no, it's not, but we need to blow them up and steal their oil anyway because the Koch brothers need it. The neolibs and the neocons. The most hated governments in the whole American continent, North America, South America, are the most hated governments were the ones who actually gave the land to the people. You give the land to the people, that's the greatest criminal act you can do right now to the government that everybody's out there voting for. It's insanity. All right, Judy Miskovich, a lifetime scientist, leading and whistleblowing. That's right, all I listen to now is lawyer whistleblowers. Now I realize that everything is a lie. The only thing that's important to me are the whistleblowers, the people who are being banned, the people like you who turn on their industry and try to say something that's true. Those are the only people I listen to. Everybody else, I don't have half an ear for. This is Gerard. Gerard is an adult. Be like Gerard. No, don't be like Gerard, Lord. Gerard is not an adult. I know Gerard. don't be like, don't. No, you gonna die. Lori need to be like Lori. Belinda need to be like Belinda. Susan, please do Susan. Riley, do Riley. And Sandy Carr, we need you to be Sandy Carr. Do not be Gerard. I know that dude. No, he only put lotion on his feet. Did y'all see that picture? I didn't scare anybody. Or maybe I did. I don't know. I was just surprised. I was so happy. Like that big old zucchini. Oh man, I love that. I was happy. Oh, worry about people seeing your ashy feet. Nah, I don't care about people. Look, you know what? Then I guess you're not gonna tell me to wear a mask in public, huh? Because I scratch the hell out of you. Look, I ain't been putting lotion on these feet for damn near 15 years now. You know I got bunions and protrusions and barnacles and things on these feet. I treat you like a velociraptor. You come over here and tell me, shame me, and oh, you need to wear a mask. I take these feet up and I'll fight you like a chicken. I don't need no fist. I just bring these feet up. No, but just be you. Be you. I need you to be you. I don't need you to be me. If Lola Mar Bop starts saying things that I say because I say them, then I've broken Lola Mar Bop. And I don't want to break Lola Mar. Lola Mar is the best Lola Mar since Lola Mar's been on the damn planet. I need Lola Mar to make me better. And the only way Lola Mar can make me better is if Lola Mar says something different from me. If Lola Mar joins the cult of Gerard and says what Gerard says, then we're a cult. And I'm not trying to start a cult. It would be fun, don't get me wrong. It'd be fun. Oh, it'd be fun to put y'all in some white robes and going down to Venezuela or somewhere. It'd be a whole lot of fun, but we'd be stupid as everybody else. We got 7 billion people on this planet. We need 7 billion critical thinking genius minds that have the compassion and passion and things that they are sent here with, right? That's our only value. That is only our value. You missed my point, Gerard. Well, this is why I said don't be Gerard, Lori. That's why I said I miss points all the damn time. Ask these people. Because y'all are talking back and forth to each other. I miss the point all the time. We all in our own little realities. That's Lori. She's going to tell me the point in a minute. Someone did a grid of Orgone pyramid on their roof in Morocco. It is dispersed to chemtrails. And Sandy Carr, I have to believe that. I have to believe that. You know why I have to believe that? I absolutely have to believe that because the government in bed with the corporations that ban that science, that refuse to let science in the public domain, banned it. So by default, I have to go with the non-deceitful party. I'll believe everything over the people that's lying to, that I know are factually lying to. Cult equals culture. That's right, Riley, and I'm not trying to start a culture. We need to let this planet become what it's supposed to, with free earthlings in their own ecosystems, living their own lives, figuring things out and sharing those things with us. That's how we become a global tribe, not under no national, new world, global, psychopathic 13 family world order. Nope, that's not what we do. Get rid of them banks, get rid of money, take care of people, let them have the things they need to without printing a stimulus check. It's stupid that you got to get a stimulus check to go to the grocery store to get some damn food, which, by the way, is what I think I need to do. I'm about to tell you a secret. I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm going to look out for my Patreon friends. That's right. I got some special things I'm going to send y'all. Man will find God when he stops looking for God that man made, unknown. Ooh, yeah, Susan. Ooh, I like how you said that. Because when I look at scripture now, I actually look at scripture from a perspective of did man change this, modify this, or does man benefit from this? And those are the scriptures I choose to gravitate towards, are the ones where I can't see any benefit to a king, a pope, a criminal man, because man in his crafty ways. I love that. Belinda Long. And this is what I'm saying. Like, you see how these people are teaching me? You see how these people, they got their own minds and they do their own critical thought? That's the only reason why I keep them around. Otherwise, I'd delete all these bastards. They teach me. Look, real talk. You know why my friends list keep going up and down? Well, one, because I post things to just shoo people that are just here for drama. You know, all I want around me are people who want to teach each other. They want to learn things and teach each other. Those are the only people I need to be around. Somebody got upset with me this morning. I was like, all right, bye, see you. Shoot, yeah, have fun in your lie world. Have fun in your false reality. And that's why my friends list goes down. And when I can't push it down by unfriend me now posts and posts to piss people off that believe in political science and bullshizzle, I delete them. I delete them. I delete people all the time because I got other people trying to get in. When people send me friend invites, I need to know what they know. If I go click on their page and all I see is some big boobies and a bra or something, no. Nope, denied. You can follow me, but we're not gonna be friends. I'm gonna be friends with people. The only reason I'm gonna open my messenger up to people is people who are educating me on something I don't know. I misspoke, I said something. There's a lot of people who never comment here and they just send me stuff all the time. They're like, watch, and I'll misspeak like, hey Gerard, you know you're a little wrong on that one. You know, you watch this. You know, click on this, go ahead and read that. I need people who educate me. I don't need people who got big bazoombas. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a man. Yeah, I got this thing and it's a problem. It's a problem. It ain't a problem here. It's a problem in the real world. This is not the real world. This is the electronic world. Okay, that don't even work here. It doesn't. It's a different technology. That's biology. All right, that doesn't even work here. So I have no interest in that. I click on your page. It's a pretty woman. Like, yeah, it's a pretty woman. And she's posting about fingernails and and some shoes. Colonizer, diamonds, conflict minerals, and just, I love you to death. And you could teach me a whole lot about dresses and shoes and some other things, but that's not what I'm on Facebook for. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to teach, to learn, because the media is false, and I need minds to help me. And that's what I do. I delete people. I go down and say, yeah, this person's not engaging. This person's not saying anything. This person doesn't send anything. And some people can't say stuff. All my posts are public. So you don't have to be my Facebook friend. You don't. The only reason to be a Facebook friend of mine is just to send inboxes. That's it. To make it through the gamut. But that's why I delete people. That's the only reason I delete people, is because it's just like, you know, you're not interested in what's true. I would put people on blast, but I'm not going to do that. That FYI about me getting loud in public with maskers. And don't get me wrong, I got maskers back though. I got their back, so it's not like an not on no groups, not on the group. You want to wear a mask in public because it makes you feel safe or better, then you should wear it. I'll stand up for your right to wear it every single day, because nobody has a right to tell you not to, not your boss, not nobody around you. But when you start to abuse other people doing what, because I guess it was Fauci that started that. He said going out there in public and start abusing people with the colonizer consciousness, telling them that we're right and our religion is the one true God and they should put their mask on. Yeah, that's when I'm going to get loud with you. And I have no problem getting loud. I was born with a big mouth. It was attached at birth. I have no problem with being loud. I get loud with anybody, anywhere, at any time. I have no issue with a crowd. Yeah, well, you know what? But if you do that, people will get violent with you. You know what? I have no problem taking one for the team, but you better bring a couple people. You better bring a couple people. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area, and I can take it there. I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of your friends. There's a lot of beat downs that you got to take, and then being honest for grandmama, so grandmas don't go out there with a false sense of security and get hurt because somebody's out there releasing a bioweapon from Fort Detrick here and there. Nope, that's not going to happen. I love grandmama too much. And you got to tap into that energy. Y'all remember when the kids were playing the tap game? What was this game where they would go around there and they would hit old people in the face or whatever? The tap game or whatever that game was. And we don't know, that might have happened 2 times, but they posted online like it was happening all over. So we don't even know what's true with that. But it happened once, and that pissed me off. That pissed me off. Well, I tell you what, don't let me catch. Don't see, you know what? And this is the problem. I channel the spirit of my uncle. I tell you a real story real quick, then I'm out of here. I'll read some more comments as I go. My grandmother was mugged. And this is going back 15 years or so. Oh, you know what? My mother was robbed too. And they was both black people. So, you know, there you go. That's that. If Black Lives Matter, and you be dealing with white people mugging people, black people in black communities, and why white people mugging white people in white communities, if white lives matter. If y'all actually believed in those things and you just weren't political organizations. If I ran into the dude that robbed my mother at gunpoint, it would just probably be a conversation. It probably would. I understand poverty. He didn't pull the trigger, and he didn't hurt my mother. Took her purse, threw it in the bush in the park, and we recovered that. Just stole the money. Well, people steal money. Money's not supposed to exist. I'm not happy with you, but I understand. And you didn't hurt anybody. But then the guy, he punched my grandmother in the face and stole her purse. I have an uncle, I won't say his name. He stayed in the car. He went all over looking for the description. No, he did not call the police. He did not. We are not a call the police family. We are not a call the police family. And this is the spirit that I channel. When you are hurting children or old people, we're going to have a problem. We are going to have a problem. And it can be from words, lying, sending them out there when somebody's got a bioweapon that's designed to kill old people, immune compromised people, and you're lying and you're sending them out in public with a false sense of security with masks that don't work. I got an issue with you. You might as well have punched my grandmother in the face and stole her purse. We're going to deal with it. We're going to deal with it, y'all. We're going to be honest, though. We're going to grow up. We're going to grow up, and I'm going to stop with that because I get upset. Y'all know me when I get upset. We'll be here for another 8 hours. But if I met that man today who punched my grandmother in the face, I would be going to prison. I guarantee you that. Love my grandmother, and God rest her soul. She's gone. She's flying around, listen, right now. She's doing that wave energy thing. And it's a little creepy grandmama that you hear because you see stuff you ain't supposed to see. And I know she even taught me that Bible. I'm supposed to love him. This is what I'm supposed to do. If I meet the man that hit my grandmother, then this is what I'm saying. God is still working with me, whatever God is. My friends are still working with me too. I'm supposed to do what the lady did in Charlottesville, right? When the guy ran over her daughter, and the very first interview she did, she said, I already forgave him. I already forgave him. That's what you were supposed to do. You weren't supposed to join up in a team. Now you want to go fight the white nationalists and Joe fight black people, whatever. You're supposed to be sentient. So I'm working on me. That's why I said, Lori, I said, don't be like me. No, don't nobody be like me. I have my own struggles. I don't have a struggle of trusting the television. Everybody has their own cross to bear. Mine is not trusting people that lie to me. You lie to me, I got a function that's going to turn. I just turns your volume down. You get muted. All right. Yes, it is. Owning up is being an adult. Yeah, owning up is being an adult, Lori, but still don't be like me. Don't be like me. And I saw your post from yesterday. Lori said, you spend your money. I can't do a Lori accent. I have to work on that. She's got that. The Southern bells. Y'all got them little Southern accents. Anyway, that's what it sounded like to me. She said, spend your money the way you need to spend your money. We give it on Patreon for you. You can give it to me all you want. I'm going to give it away. Lori, I got that from a pastor. Where was I? Ambler Baptist Church. No, it was a Zion Church. I forgot the name of it. There was a pastor there. I was there only for a minute. As after I went through my divorce, and after divorce, you find Jesus. Well, I got in the car and I got to find him. He's somewhere. Had to go by. Women will break your heart. When women break your heart, I'm trying to tell you, listen, one of two things. You can go find Jesus, you can go find Muhammad, or you're going to go find Sade and Bob Marley. I found all of them but Muhammad. I found all of them. Trying to get used to a life not seeing my boys every day and that woman that I love. Oh my goodness, it was rough. I was out on the steps of the church at 2 a.m. But anyway, I'm not gonna go through that story. I'll tell that story another day. He said to me, he said, when people just give me money, I just give it right back away. So why would I keep money? He said money is a means of life, right? That's the society we live in. He said, you give me money, by the end of the day, it's gonna go leave my pocket, go out the other side. And that's my answer to you, Lori. No, I don't. There's nothing that I need. Like we were talking about yesterday. I think it was Sandy who said it. Who said it yesterday, or 2 days ago? So when you really find out what's valuable in life, you actually don't want none of this trash. You realize all the rest of the stuff is trash. The most beautiful thing is when you say something or do something that helps somebody. It makes you feel great. That's the greatest gift that you could have, and I think that's why. The aliens, when they came here in the past and created all y'all's religions, they told you to do these things. That's the greatest gift you can get. So there's nothing I want. I literally, Lori, I got everything in life I need. I got 3 healthy kids. I got family. I got y'all. What do I need? I got food in my belly. Now everything after that is what can I do for other people? That's it. I don't need the new video games or some games and computers and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's just that's not where I'm at in my life. So anything anybody gives to me, my point to her was I'm gonna use it to try to help people. And that's why I do all this growing food in the microscope and eventually get back into software engineering. I'm thinking about making a website outside of Facebook where, you know, I have one, but I haven't done what I need to do with it, where, you know, we can live stream and other things I want to do. So I won't go through all the details of it, but my point is that we're here for each other. We're here for each other, and that's what we have to act like. We're here for each other. And my gift to this planet ain't buying me a new computer. Right? It's not buying me a big house and a new car and stuff like that. Once again, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I don't get anything out of it. I don't get anything out of it. You know what I do get out of it though, Lori? I get guilt. I'll be honest about it. I do get guilt out of it. Every time I look at these cell phones and things and these laptops and all the stuff I got around me, I get guilt out of it. I get a lot of guilt out of it. I have a lot of things that people don't have, and I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. I think I have too much, you know, and I need to be better. I need to level up, you know. So yeah, no, there's nothing that I want. Nothing that I want. So even if I had money, If I had money, nope, I'd buy land for all my friends. That's exactly what I would do. If I had money, if I had a lot of money, I'd just buy a plot of land and just start building cob houses so everybody would be okay. Just start growing a lot of food, putting in a garden of Eden, start getting the almonds and the apples, you know, trees that last a long time, some greenhouses so we can have tropical food. And for the surrounding area, and try to figure out how can I use what I know, automated, by the way, automated. No, I'm not an off-gridder and get down and struggling. No, that's not me. I love Claudia to death. I do, Claudia, girl, I love you. I do. But you's a woman. Y'all can deal with pain better than I can. I don't do pain. No, not me. Oh no, off-grid community, we're gonna have Wi-Fi. It's gonna be off their grid, off billionaire grid. We're gonna have a grid of our own. No, gotta have some hot tubs and soap. It's got to have automated grow systems and some robots doing things. No, it needs to be. I am not a woman. And we ain't birthing no babies, y'all. We ain't birthing no babies here. Nope. I'm not getting down to struggle. Claudia does it because Claudia loves the earth and she loves to get down. That's how she raised and, you know, takes her back to her childhood. I am not in for the struggle. I struggled my whole life. I don't even know. I'm just looking to retire. That's what I would do. That's what I do. Any of this ends up being something, everybody got a place with me. We just gonna buy a big plot of land, grow a whole bunch of food, and just grow it. Pond after pond after pond after aquaponic system, houses separated like the Venus Project, deers are welcome, not where the food is at, but they're welcome, which, oh, by the way, somebody about to die, the first stripy tomato was done. I got the first stripy tomato off the vine today. Stripy is a big heirloom, massive tomato. I took a picture I posted later today. And damn it, somebody ate it. It was not me. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm not sure if it was a groundhog, the rabbits, or the deer. Somebody else got it. But anyway, that's what we need. When people have the things that they need, they become the people they're supposed to. And I think that's what we're here for. We're here to take care of each other. And I wasted my life trying to take care of me. I'm not trying to do that no more. I'm fine. I know a lot of people around the world that aren't. And that's what we're supposed to do. So anyway, I'm gonna have to get going. Lori said again, I missed her point. I'm Gerard, Lori. I'm supposed to miss your point, girl. You know, sometimes it does this. It just, you know, just let it go. Let it go. It'll come back around. It might stick later, but everybody be you. Everybody be you. If you see something great in somebody else, implement that in your own way. That's kind of my point. So I gotta get going. Free the people, that's what we need. That's why the bomb blew up, because we're still silly. We're colonizers, we support colonizers, we vote for them, we pay taxes to them. That needs to stop. We need to free the people, free the land, give the land back to the earth creatures. And you give it back to them, they become what they need to. The wolves don't travel and lions to go kill and murder other groups. And neither do the humans. When they have everything that they need, they don't have no reason to go to Venezuela to kill people and steal things. We can grow up. I think we just got to tap into consciousness, which is not colonizer consciousness, abuse consciousness, rape consciousness, national consciousness, worshiping flags, creating our own religions. We just need to learn to love each other more. So, hey, Big Con. This is Gerard. Y'all have a great day. Free to be. And they won't make bombs and blow up places in Beirut.
Do you want a free